time I was in Pacquiao's camp, like he's a people person. He likes when people do everything with him. And so my first camp, I wore my damn self out because I was like, all right, I gotta outwork him. So we go and we run in the mornings and stuff. And then we show up to the gym, we'll spar, do whatever. And so then I was like, all right, I'm about to start doing twice as much as him. So I'm like, all right, at night, I'm gonna go work out. I'm gonna do sprints, I'm gonna do this and do that. And then it got to a point where I was like, all right, the hotel where I'm at, what is boxing demand out of you? It demands you to be serious about it. It demands you to stay in shape and take your craft serious. And so you gotta treat it like that. Treat it like it's your dream girl. Boxing, because it's your dream life. It could change you. Like I never had a passport before I started boxing. Guess what? Boxing got me a passport. I've been out of the country a bunch of times. Yeah, so it just kept with me. I'm from Oklahoma. We never had one. So I never thought that Zab Judah would fly me with him to New York to come to this fight, come kick it with him. I'm riding the car with Zab Judah. I'm at this camp up here and on top of a mountain with Eric Morales, Jesse Vargas.
What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to TMTV 2020. And today with me, I have the big dog in the house, man. He needs no introduction, but I'm just gonna let him, introduce himself to us.
Hey, what's up, YouTube and everybody else out there? It's Lydell Rhodes, professional boxer, 30-6, but we working on that. We're gonna get the title soon. So yeah.
Thank you. It's great to have you with us tonight. To start with, man, let's dive right into it, man. How did you get into boxing, man?
Honestly, I was an athlete. I didn't want to work, so I started wilding out because I ain't say shelter, but I had a lot of rules and stuff at home growing up. And so when I went to college and stuff at UCO, I started wilding out and everything. And then that's when stuff happened. I ended up having to go back home, and I had to work full time, enroll at Rose State full time, and stuff like that, And so I got tired. I'm 20 years old, waking up at 4 in the morning. I gotta go clock in and work at 5 a.m. every day. Man, anybody who's ever been like 19, 20, waking up early, having to live a grown man lifestyle, man, that ain't cool. So I was like, man, I'm gonna try and start boxing on the side because I've been an athlete my whole life. And so I started doing that, and I eventually got good enough where my family, they believed in me. It was like, all right, let's go pursue it.
Wow.
Yeah, but it started with that where I was tired of waking up and clocking in to work at 5 a.m. every day at Pepsi. Shout out to Pepsi. Hey, let me get a sponsorship.
You grew up in Oklahoma City, right?
Yeah, actually, I grew up, we gotta be specific. I'm from Spencer, Midwest City, and Choctaw.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what was it growing up like, I know you've said a little bit about working, but what was it growing up like as far as boxing is concerned?
As far as what?
Boxing.
Boxing?
Yeah.
The boxing scene? I know anything about the boxing scene until I think I was a senior in high school. My boy Ricky Reams took me to a show at Remington Park. And
the horse race?
Yeah, it was funny. I didn't know who anyone was or anybody. I grew up watching boxing, but no one in Oklahoma City and stuff. We used to have, my family had parties, and we watched Mike Tyson, watched Roy Jones and stuff. So that was always my thing. I liked watching that, but we went to Remington Park, and it's funny because the guys that was there, I remembered them, and now I'm friends with them. So Tracy Sneed was on the card.
Okay. Tracy Sneed?
Tracy Sneed was on the card, and then Alan Green was the guest.
From Tulsa?
Yeah,
Tulsa,
from Tulsa,
right?
yeah. And so he was like the special guest up there, and Tracy Sneed was fighting. It had to be like 2006 or something like that, yeah. But I went up there, and I was like, Alan Green. Then I remember watching Tracy Sneed, like, I want to be like him because he's short and stocky like me. And so, yeah, that was my first time, like, knowing anything about it. And then fast forward a few years later after high school when football didn't work and I didn't end up wrestling, which I thought I was going to be doing one of them and stuff. I got into boxing, and
So you played football, you did wrestling before you get into boxing.
Yeah, and track. I was.
You did track too?
Yeah, I did. I was a full-time athlete, like where I
Wow.
really didn't. It was funny. I was talking with my boy the other day, and we just talking about stuff. And he's telling me stories about, them getting into like little mischief stuff here and there. Like, oh man, we go walk around Midwest City down this park and holler at girls, talk to girls, take them there. I ain't got really no stories like that because every year, all year I play football during the school year, football, then wrestling, then track is the end, and then soon as school is over, during track, it'd be wrestling season. You got to do freestyle wrestling,
Wow.
and then right there, you go straight to summer track or whatever it's called, but yeah, summer league track,
Yeah.
and then right there, football started during the summer. So I was full
That's
time
like a
athlete.
grown
Like every
man's.
year, I
Yeah.
never. That's all I've known my whole life. So that's why when I was in college and all that stuff didn't work out, like I know anything else. And working, I was like, man, work is weird. I gotta get back to being an athlete. But I was literally a full-time athlete my whole life. I know anything else.
Wow. So speaking of boxing, right? At what point do you felt like you got this? Like,
What point I think I was good? So there was a couple different things. So actually, it might have been so my confidence level when I first started was probably higher than, I don't know, when I first turned pro.
it's
When
hard to make it in boxing. It's
Yeah,
hard.
it is, yeah.
And even the time that you grew up is hard. Not to talk of grew up in Oklahoma, that boxing is like, I don't know. Because
Yeah.
a lot of people keep saying nobody was supporting boxing before.
Yeah.
And during your time, it was like around the same time. So how did you, because there is football, OU, OSU, and how did you, like, it's hard to make it in boxing. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Football, it might be, to me, I feel like it's a little bit easy because it's a teamwork.
Yeah.
So where did you get that belief? Like, because you have a lot of fighter to fight to
Yeah.
get to that level.
Like, honestly, like, there wasn't much to, like, be enthused about or even, believe in. But I can't say the best that Oklahoma's had recently. I was around all the best people from,
Yeah.
say, like, I seen Alan Green. He would come to my gym, even from Tulsa. He'd come up there sometime, and he'd train in Oklahoma City, sometimes at the gym that I went to, Badlands. And then also my boy over Carson, he was training over there, so I was around Carson Jones all the time. And then I used to go to Lawton and train, and I spar
Grady?
with Grady. And like, that's when Grady, he had just won the Contender a few years before.
2026, yeah.
Whenever, yeah. So now, as soon as I start boxing, Grady's one of the first people on sparring, and he's going all out. I remember one time we sparring, and he was like, hey, because listen, I don't know how to go light, because he's a puncher, and he got like an unorthodox style, so he's like, I can't go easy, I can't go light on you. Otherwise, I
bring
don't
your
want
A
it, so I
game.
got to go hard. And so I'm just now entering the gym, I'm just now training, and I'm around all the heavy hitters, and I'm sparring Grady every day and stuff like that. So it was just wild and stuff like that. But that's why I was talking to a couple of people. I was just talking to Carson Jones the other day, and he was telling me, like, and we was talking, and I'm like, yeah, I never knew that you had just started boxing, because everyone always thought that I was one of the dudes who had been boxing for a long time, because as soon as I started, it was probably like my first few months, I was right around the who's who of Oklahoma boxing. Like, I'm around Carson. As soon as I started boxing, I'm around Grady Brewer. And so then everyone else who would come around, they all just thought that I've been boxing because they see me like walking around and hanging out with them dudes who are like at the top level.
Yeah.
I know I just started this year.
Wow.
But I was an athlete, so that got me by.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was kind of how like the start and everything was. But it was cool. I was around the who's who. And when I got the belief, it wasn't being around them. It was when I moved to Vegas and stuff. And
Vegas.
so my thing was like, those a couple fights.
Why do you move? Let me
Yeah, so why I moved is I went to every gym in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Like I said, I trained in Lawton. I trained every gym in Oklahoma City. I trained in Tulsa with Coach Reed. I was all over the place, but like it just wasn't the knowledge for me to take me to the next level.
The next level.
Yeah, so, and me and my mom sat down one day, and she was like, all right, so, okay, so before I committed to boxing, everyone thought that MMA was gonna be my path because, you know, I was really good at wrestling. And then I was a natural at throwing hands and stuff. So they thought MMA was gonna be it. And so I moved to St. Louis at first to do MMA. And then when I came back, I took a show. My pro debut was like on a week and a half notice. This dude Jesse Coleman, that's my brother now, but like nobody wanted to fight him. Everyone kept pulling out because he was a rough, tough dude, and he fought. You had to be ready, and so I took it on a week and a half notice,
Wow.
and I ended up getting the win. I got the W, and so we rematched and stuff. But before that, that's when my whole family showed up, and they was like, "Hey, we don't want you to do MMA. We want you to box."
Box.
And so then my mom sat me down, was like, "Hey, you gonna make it in boxing? Where do you think you can make it at?" I was like, honestly, I don't think I can make it in Oklahoma. She's like, all right, well, where do you think you can? I was like, Vegas has good gyms. New York got good fighters. California got good gyms and fighters. I was like, Florida, and I think that was like where it was from, the choices. And then our first stop was Vegas. I went there, and you know, ended up getting with Floyd Mayweather Sr. and the rest is history.
Right away?
Huh?
Just right away?
Yeah, what was
Wow.
crazy, so he wasn't going to trade me at first. The craziest thing, so me at the time, I was just explosive guy. I'm punching hard as I can, just doing everything hard. And I messed up. So what would have been the worst possible thing for me back then is fighting a slick boxer who know how to like slow me down, do everything. But there was this dude in the gym. So my first day with Floyd, I'm throwing mitts. I'm missing the mitts, just trying to do too much to impress him. Trying to be too fast, trying to hit too hard. I'm messing up everything. It's like, I don't know, man, I don't know. And so then there was this kid in the gym. He's like a rough, he's based like me, but a little taller, but a strong, rough dude. And he gives all the boxers problems. And so then the next day, Floyd's like, hey, why don't you spar him? And so,
Floyd?
No,
Like the senior?
Floyd Senior told me
Okay,
spar
okay.
him. This dude, he's rough, and he give all the boxers problems. But to me, it's the perfect style for me because
you?
he's sitting there in front of you being rough, and so
Yeah.
like I end up beating him up.
Wow.
And that's when Floyd Senior's like, oh yeah, we got something, we can work then.
Walk.
And so then I started working with him, but then like a couple fights in Oklahoma, you know, everyone's like, man, you got the talent. You gonna make it, man. There was a couple guys, they tried to turn me pro before an amateur fight. I had no amateur fights. I walked in the gym and I was sparring my boy Joe Strong, and he was ranked in the nation at the time. And we're going blow for blow. My first sparring session, I'm just now starting, and I'm doing good with guys. He a weight class above me, and he ranked, and I'm going blow for blow with him. And so they're like, man, you can turn straight pro. And so, but I still like, I don't know. But then when I get to Vegas, and now I'm hearing other guys tell
Saying
me,
that?
hey, you got something. And then that's when I started really believing myself.
Believing yourself.
Yeah, and I feel like I still haven't put all the pieces together, but one guy up in Vegas told me, he was like, man, where are you from? He's like, man, I kind of knew Gary Payton. He was like, and so back in the day, his first couple years in the league, he was like, I remember us talking to Gary, and dude was like, hey, you got all the puzzle pieces. Once you put them together, you're gonna be really good. And he's like, man, that's you. You got all the puzzle pieces. You're elusive, you're fast, you can punch. You got a good punch, you can do everything. You just gotta put them all together. And I think right now I'm almost there, like, I almost got all the puzzle pieces finally together where I can really do my style. But, you know, but that's where my confidence stuff came from, was going out there and other fighters and stuff telling me. And then even like, what really boosted to another level was me starting to spar like people like Zab Judah was the first person to take me under his wing, and Zab saying that I'm gonna be a world champion. Eric Morales telling guys I'm be a world champion. I'm sparring Jesse Vargas. Jesse Vargas' dad telling me I'm gonna be a world champion. Like, and just hearing it from guys who don't have to tell me that.
But how were you able to take all those stuffs? Because it's a lot to take. Huh? How were you able to take all those stuff coming at you? Like,
one, I was really driven. Like, that's one of the things I can say, that the only thing right now that I would say, I'm really driven now, but it wasn't, I was driven, and I was scared to not make it and to kind of be, I guess, a failure. Like I was scared of failure where I would wake up and stuff like when I first went out there, people like, I know you're partying. I didn't party in Vegas probably till 2, maybe 3 years of me living out there.
Living in Vegas.
Like I used to go and I remember one time I went out, I tried to go party one time and I went out and it was when Floyd, he had his marquee on the side of the MGM Grand.
Yeah.
And so, like, I went out, I'm about to start kicking and doing my thing. I see Floyd up there. I'm like, hey, I'm telling the boys, I'm like, hey, I gotta go. And I go back to my little apartment and I go run and stuff like where, like, it's just all that stuff. Something that I never thought I'd be in the position I'd be in.
Like that.
Yeah, so it just kept pushing me. I'm from Oklahoma,
Yeah.
we never
That's
had
why I
anyone.
asked you that.
I never thought that Zab Judah would fly me with him to New York to come to his fights, come kick it with him. I'm riding the car with Zab Judah. I'm at this camp up here and on top of a mountain with Eric Morales, Jesse Vargas.
What's the schedule like? Is it tiring, like having to wake up every day? You got to be on the run?
Camps?
Yeah.
It just depends. Like some are like I remember the first time I was in Pacquiao's camp. Like he's a people person. He likes when people do everything with him. And so my first camp, I wore my damn self out because I was like, all right, I gotta outwork him. So we go and we run in the mornings and stuff. And then we show up to the gym, we'll spar, do whatever. And so then I was like, all right, I'm about to start doing twice as much as him. So I'm like, all right, at night, I'm gonna go work out. I'm gonna do sprints, I'm gonna do this and do that. And then it got to a point where I was like, all right, the hotel where I'm at, his house is 2 miles away. So before we go do our morning runs at whatever time, be like 6 in the morning, I'm gonna wake up at 5, and then at 5:30, I'm gonna run to his house and meet him at his house, and we run from his house. And so I started doing extra stuff like that, but I was wearing myself out. But
what was it like being around him? Is he a great guy, or just?
Pacquiao?
Yeah.
So, okay, here's the thing with Pacquiao. Everything you see on TV and YouTube, everything,
yeah,
that you see how good he is,
yeah,
multiply that by 10.
What?
And like he's like,
wow.
You don't even get to see all the stuff he does. Like, I remember he has a basketball court. It looks like this in his house.
Yeah.
And so we go over there, and he had probably like 50 people every day go play basketball with him. He feeds everybody every night, feeds everyone. Don't ask nothing, feeds them. Don't try and document it. He don't care who sees it or not. Like, he really does this stuff like every fight, every camp that I was with him, he won. And he'd call you to the room, whatever, he'd give you extra $5,000, ask you if you want to be on this card. And a lot of people don't know, but I actually got signed by Al Heyman because of Pacquiao. Like, it was a dude who was affiliated with Al Heyman, and one of the camps, he was like outside the door or whatever, and then when we came out, and then he was like, hey, your dude right here, Spawn Martin, is he good? And then Pac was like, yeah, he's good. And just like that, they signed me, because I was still on the contract with my original promoter, but as soon as my contract ended, that dude remembered me, and then he told, the higher ups at Al Heyman, them, they sent me a contract just off of that. Like, I didn't have to come fight. It wasn't like, all right, if you win this fight, you get on or something. They sent just off of Pacquiao's word.
What was your biggest purchase, man? Your biggest purchase when you got signed? What was the biggest, like the most expensive thing that you bought when you first signed?
I don't know. No, it was probably some stuff because I was already buying expensive dumb stuff like I was already buying like Louis Vuitton and Gucci and stuff like that. But I already had some nice cars. I think I got a nicer car after one of my fights. I got
That's good.
me and my mom got like BMWs and stuff. We came together. We got that stuff, but that wasn't all for just the signing bonus. So I think
So talking about signing,
clothes.
Right? What was your memorable fight?
What I remember?
Yeah, your memorable fight, like you can't forget this. How you pull it off or how it ended?
Shoot. So my most memorable fight isn't one of my big fights. it had to be like maybe my 6th fight, and it's not even. I don't even know who I fought. I just remember the next day because it was in Oklahoma City,
Yeah.
and like I remember Floyd came down. It might have been like my
Floyd came down?
Yeah, it might have been my
Wow.
5th fight, whatever. Floyd them came down, and then I just remember it was like sold out. Everybody was there.
No, Chesapeake Center? Or what?
No, it was either the Coca-Cola Convention Center. I think
Okay.
it's but the Coca-Cola Event Center. I think it's something else now, or
Okay.
Remington Park, one of them. And it was completely sold out, where it was like no tickets available and stuff.
Wow.
And then I just woke up the next day, and that's the only time I think, as an adult, besides maybe when my uncle died there, I think I cried a little bit. I woke up the next day and was like, man, it's crazy, dude. Like,
What was it like to be famous, though? Let me ask you, like during those times.
man, yeah, when I was like a little local celebrity, it's like, it was cool. It was real cool, man. Going places and people know you. And then I remember one of the things that always made me kind of happy and kind of cool was like down the road after I'm signed with Heyman and stuff.
Yeah.
I think my mom, she's in Vegas with some of my cousins and stuff, and they go to a concert, and Zab Judah's there, and then he's with his homeboy and stuff, and then he stops and he's like, hey, you Lydell's mom, right? And she's like, yeah. And then he tells boy, hey, her son's gonna be a world champion. That kid is good. And like my mom and her friends being able to hear that from like a guy
person.
who's like a Hall of Famer,
Yeah.
telling it to my mom and them, it was crazy. It was dope and stuff. But there's been a bunch of high points. But as far as like fights, most memorable, I would say not. It was 2 different ones. So Sergey Lipinets, it wasn't a good feeling, say, but that's why I progressed so much after I fought Sergey Lipinets. I never been in the ring with anyone who put pressure and stalked you like he did, where the whole fight, I was never comfortable 1 second where like, he didn't even throw a lot of punches, but he was just always in my face where I was like, making me uncomfortable.
Did you win the fight?
No, they gave it to him. I thought I won.
Okay.
But I would say people I talked to, there's probably, I would say at least 30 to 40% people say they thought I won, and then probably like 60%. I'd say 40% telling me they thought I won, and 60% said probably I didn't do enough. But like some like the boxing websites and stuff, they had me winning the first 6 rounds, but I gassed out in the end because he put so much pressure, like mental pressure on me and stuff. Like it wasn't like from punches, but just I wasn't comfortable the whole fight. And then the other fight, I ended up losing too, but in the chair where everyone thought I won that fight and stuff. But just the overwhelming like thing of like, soon as I got out the ring and I made it to my hotel room back in there, I got on, social media. Everybody checks social media now, and my whole thing was flooded. I go not on my page, but just my news feed, and my whole news feed is nothing but me. I'm like,
Wow.
That's crazy. And everybody's like, man, you got robbed.
Was that scary for you?
Huh?
Was it scary? Like, you from Oklahoma, and like you checking the internet, like everything about you, like just.
Yeah, it's wild stuff, man. So, like, it's sometimes
So
like.
what was taking the loss like?
It was. It was weird. Like, it's weird. Honestly, I kind of spiraled out of control a little bit because I thought everything was over, man. Like, it's the Floyd Mayweather era. Like, you're not supposed to lose.
Yeah.
If you lose once, you're trash. You're garbage. Like, dude, you got a loss. You're horrible. And so that's another thing too. I like now, I'm trying to give back and talk to kids and stuff like that. Like, well, like.
How did you bounce back?
I won't say nothing. It took a long time. Like, honestly, I can honestly say I am literally just now getting my confidence back. So it's been years later, man. Like, it takes your confidence a little bit. If, like, everyone handles stuff differently. Like, but for someone like me, I never really went through adversity. Like, I always had friends in school.
So what was your winning streak like before you take the first loss?
Huh?
Like a 10-0, 20-0?
I was 20-something, maybe 21, what? 22, 23.
22-0?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was wild. But Man, you wanna know something that's weird? Like, I don't know, but one of the weirdest things is before I took my first loss, I was supposed to be the co-main event. And the dude who trains Deontay Wilder was the main event. I forgot his name, Malik. And so, and the person who was right up under me was Tank. And so,
Tank?
yeah, and so
Wow.
5 minutes before Tank's supposed to fight, and this is like when I stopped going to Mayweather gym and stuff, and then they come and tell me, it's like, hey, Floyd says he wants Tank and Lydell to switch. I'm like, what? He's like, he said Tank
So
gonna be.
they want Tank to be the co-main event?
Yeah, so 5 minutes. So they told me that, and I gotta go out and fight in 5 minutes where I'm chilling like, well, I was already
That's not
warmed
good
up
for
and
you.
stuff. So I don't think it made too much difference, but that whole fight was like memorable because it was just a whole bunch of stuff there, which was cool. I remember just even talking to Gary Russell then was there, and I rode in the vans to the fights with all the Gary Russell brothers, and they was there, and they was all cool and stuff. And so, from the hotel, they pick you up in the shuttle and take you to the fight, with them. And then other thing was my boy, we got real close, Javante Starks, yeah. And so one thing about him is he fought on the undercard. He fought like up under me and stuff, where when I first started, now we real good friends too, like we be talking and stuff. When I first started boxing, I get on YouTube and he was the #1 guy in the nation in my weight class in the amateurs. I used to watch him and stuff.
What weight class do you fight?
In the amateurs, so I was all over the place. I fought at everything. I fought at super heavyweight. I fought at light heavyweight. Yeah.
How do you fight heavyweight? Heavyweight is like about 200, like 190, right?
Super heavyweight. I fought super heavyweight.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a funny story. So the dude actually fought. We cool now, and we actually became teammates right after that. But T, and he was undefeated too. And so at the time, but we went all the way down to Broken Arrow, and so it's like almost 2 hours away. We go down there, and it's a smoker, and my whole family show up. I got probably, well, not the whole family, but at least it's 15 to 20 people show up. And then, you weigh in, you come back to see if you got a match, and like, no, he ain't got no match. And so my dad's like, hey, we drove 2 hours, he gonna fight somebody. And like, well, the only person who ain't fought, he weighs 220. And then like they fighting. We down, they gonna fight.
You doing the fight?
They let us fight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I got the win. It was funny because it was my boy T. It was his first loss too. He was beating everybody. And what's so crazy, he had just beat a dude who ended up signing with Heyman too.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I ended up beating him. And then, but my main two weights, I go back and forth from 165, which is middleweight, to 152 in the amateurs. So for me now, fighting at 130, 135, I never thought I'd fight at them weights. Yeah.
So before I forget, you having event coming up, man. You want to talk about that a little bit for,
Yeah, so
August 31st, right?
August 31st, Oklahoma City at the Farmers Market, so be there. But really, it's called The Future of Boxing 2. So that's a little series I'm doing where I'm putting together all that young new talent and stuff, because I don't think Oklahoma ain't seen a wave like this since back when you had Lydell Rhodes, Carson Jones, Alex Salcedo, and really it was only 3 people, but it was 3 hitters coming up.
At the same time.
There ain't been like a crop like this coming up, like all together at once, and they can really fight. Since that time. So you're gonna see some of the best dudes you done seen in Oklahoma. And this is the first show. It's basically a homegrown show where most of my fights, all the other ones still will have Vegas guys and stuff on, but this is the first one where it's no foreigners, no guys from Australia, from Italy.
From Africa, Italy.
Africa, anywhere. It's all Oklahoma guys. You got the couple guys right there on the border from Texas and stuff, but they're basically Oklahoma guys as well. They tied in with us too, but it's going to be basically a real local show, and it's going to show the best talent you're going to see and stuff. There's still a couple other guys who they're supposed to be in pro, but they're still waiting to have their pro debuts with us and stuff. But they're going to be on them shows too, and we got some hitters coming up where we got some kids who can really fight, or shoot, not kids now. I mean, let me call them men. They pros, these men, these young men.
I'm not gonna lie though, like yeah, as far as consistency is concerned with your show, you've been up there. In a year, you do like 2 or 3 shows. Because I remember when I first met you about 2 years ago at I can't remember the name of the hotel. I knew it was a St. Patrick's Day, and I was like, oh, are you a boxer? You said yeah. Say I'm fighting, I promote my show, and I'm like, this guy crazy, you know. And ever since, your show has always been like twice a year, 3 times a year.
Yeah.
You know, want to thank you, you know, because you're helping the city when it comes to boxing too. You know, putting light on some of the boxers. From last one was done in Kelly Avenue, the other one Guthrie and all that.
Yeah.
So let me digress a little bit. Give me your top 5 boxer of all time. You could put yourself in it too if you want to.
Of course, me number 1.
Okay.
But so I have different lists, but I'm gonna say my favorite.
Your favorite, yeah.
I don't really think that some of my favorite are the best all time, but my top 5 favorite would be, it's a tie for, I got 1A and 1B.
Let's start from 5.
All right, 5. He's actually my Facebook friend.
I'm curious to know though.
Orlando Canizales, or Canizales, however you pronounce it. But yeah.
I may have to look him up.
Yeah, you gotta look him up. Hey,
That's number 5?
Yeah, he's an animal. And so, but I don't know, I ain't never started this way, so now I gotta think of everybody and stuff. But let's see, this is 3. Hey, who
No,
would be
without any order, just yeah.
Okay, let me see. 4 is tough. I always be forgetting because I have a few guys and stuff. Hey, you know what? So I gotta add on now because I might have to. I never said to anyone. I used to argue with Carson about this dude, but now I'm gonna go ahead and put him in my all-time favorites. Now I'm gonna go with Terrence Crawford. I never said Terrence Crawford's even been my favorite fighter at this point in time. I've always had somebody better that I like more than him, but I gotta put him. I gotta tie him with Inoue. I like Inoue.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta put them on the list. Now it's gonna be 6. Gonzalez, that's my boy. He got dropped to 6. All right, so 3 is Tyson.
Great fighter.
And 1B, if I had to have the guy who I would say is up under, it would be Sugar Ray Leonard.
Okay.
And then my top all time, I also think he's the best pound for pound fighter ever.
Ooh.
Roy Jones.
Oh, Roy Jones.
I think at his peak,
yeah.
I don't think anyone. He was a freak of nature.
Wow.
Like he was an athlete like none other. Yeah.
So the city want to know your favorite car.
Huh?
Your favorite car.
Car?
Yeah.
Rolls-Royce Wraith.
Rolls-Royce Wraith?
Yeah, the Wraith.
Wow. Your best food? Your favorite food?
Shoot. It's probably pizza, and I don't even like cheese. I don't eat cheese.
I don't know. All the boxers that I've interviewed, they all say pizza. Well, what's pizza in the box? I don't know. Like,
it's a fat boy food. It's easy, simple, you know.
After weighing.
It's just right there. But I'm weird, man. I get pizza with no cheese.
No cheese?
Yeah.
I like mine plain too. Like cheese, plain.
But I know you digression saying this, but I got back for what you said earlier about me throwing the shows before I forget. I'm about to turn up now. We've been throwing, like you said, like around 3 shows a year, something like that, 2, 3. I'm about to try and do within this next calendar year, probably around 8 shows.
That shows?
Yeah, because
that would be good for the city, man.
I locked in a contract with Farmers Market. I'm got to do 6 shows there. And then I'm still going to Guthrie. And then I promised a couple other guys I'd do some. you know, in different other places.
Try
But
Lawton, man. Those
Lawton, yeah,
white boys.
yeah,
I
I'll
remember the
do it.
last show I
Uh,
was at Lawton.
yeah.
It was nice. They all
Okay.
came out, like,
Okay. Yeah.
and they love
I'm
their
not
local
opposed to it.
fighters.
Uh,
They,
uh,
oh man,
Hey, and the fighters too, man. Hey, one thing I be trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'm really for the fighters because I'm a fighter myself.
yeah.
But I be, I ain't had this many people mad at me my whole life. Hey, dudes be mad at me like
Cause
right
you didn't
now
get
this
in the
show.
fight.
Yeah, I really be trying to like do everything, but it's just so much. Hey, making a fight is way harder than actually fighting. Like
I
I
said I
rather
was
be a
gonna
fighter.
ask you, but finish what you're trying to
Yeah,
say.
I'd rather be a fighter 10 times out of 10. Being a fighter
Wow,
is simple.
simple.
Like doing the promoting and doing, it's like every fight I be trying to make like 15 fights and then something happen and go down like to 10. With this fight right now, I got 13 bouts and then that's still not even enough because I got guys wanting to be a pro. So now I'm adding amateurs on it where I'm
Okay,
trying to put together 5 amateur fights before the whatever
the
12,
bro.
13 pro fights and
That
stuff
makes
where,
sense.
yeah, but my thing with the deal I'm doing with the farmers market is going to help me out where I don't have to please everybody on one show now where I'm trying to put everyone, and I be
Separate.
getting so many people mad now. I can be like, all right, I'm gonna do a show in whatever September or October. Boom, I can knock that out. Then either November or early December, I can do another show. So all right, like, hey, I'm gonna get them on this show and just wait 2 months. I'm putting you on right here. Where now I can, you know, do it because man, hey, dudes be mad at me, man. I'm like, bro,
They
like I'm
wanna
trying, I
make
really
those
am.
money.
It's nothing personal.
Because I said I was gonna ask you before you said it. Like,
Yeah.
between being a boxer and a promoter, which one is easier?
Boxing way easier, but like the one thing that I gotta realize in boxing, or not boxing, but on
Promoting?
the business side, the
Yeah.
promoting, you can't help everyone. Like it comes a certain time where it has to be business. Like it can't be, you know, friendly and being friends. Where like you know, some of the other guys and stuff, young guys be mad where I'll be trying to even do the after party. Like me, I don't really even go. I got a family afterwards, so I don't even be going out all the time and stuff like that where I'll be at home with my family afterwards. But the younger dudes be like, hey, do an after party, this and that, where I know it's part of what you do with events and stuff, but it be some be like, oh man, I don't want to be there. Some be like, so it just every aspect from the opponents to the actual
Yeah.
fights to the venue
Yeah.
to this to that
Plus, you
to
still
the
have to fight.
entrance. Huh?
I said, plus, you still have to fight.
You said the what?
You
And
still have
plus
to
me,
fight
yeah,
on your
me, see, I
show.
still got to fight, yeah, yeah. But then the thing that I'm gonna work on now that I'm doing all these shows is now I can sit back and I don't have to jump on them.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but
It takes the pressure off you, man, bro.
yeah,
Like, everything, like, you just watch and see as a fan.
yeah. And I got a
So,
couple of other things that's dealing where I'm working with some other guys where I might fight, you know, on some other cards like out of the state as well. But you know, right now, you know, I wanted to do like a solid year because last year, you know, when I came right back, I jumped straight to the top again instead of like working my way back up. And being off for 4 years, I felt it where it wasn't me in the ring. And so now I'm like, all right, now I'm gonna progressively do it
gradually,
the right way before we get right back to the top
to
of
top.
fighting, the top fighting and trying to get them titles and stuff like that. But yeah, but what were you about to say?
No, what's your typical training day like?
I'm kind of sporadic, but when I'm back in Vegas,
Yeah.
some days I'll work out in the morning, and sometimes I'll do like some stuff with team. With the team, we'll go run, do strength conditioning, and then we'll usually hit the gym around 11 a.m. or something like that, and then or some day like 10:30 to 11:30, sometime around there we hit the gym, and then at nights I'm a night person. I'm a night owl. So I like going, and that's kind of like therapeutic to me, going and running and stuff outside at night when there's no one else really on the road, where it's just me and my thoughts, and I can go over what I'm doing in the fight. All right, I need to jab more. I need to start sitting down my punches more. Catch instead of jumping back. Don't pull out. Catch, step in, rip the body, and just little stuff like that where I can just go over in my
Think.
mind when there's no one else outside, just me and my thoughts, and just going over the fights. again. So, but I just hurt my knee, man. I got my first injury in really my whole life, and so
Wow.
now I gotta quit putting so much wear and tear on my knees. I might
Okay.
start biking a little more and stuff like that. But that's basically what I'll do. And then after my runs, I'll probably shadow box and game plan for an hour, like in my backyard, my garage or something. But me, I'm really huge on technique, shadow boxing, and game planning and stuff like that. Where I'll just sometimes, like, if I don't feel like running, I've been wearing my body out, just beat my body down the whole week and stuff. I'm like, all right. If I don't go walking, sometimes I'll go walk if I'm tired. But if not, I'm like, I'm just gonna shadow box on game plan. All right, we're gonna start off like what we're gonna do in the first round. Our first round, we're trying to figure a style out. We got jab, get the jab out there, get the timing. Oh, he's pressuring. What we're gonna do? We're gonna try and fight him off, trying to counter him and see if that slows him down, or we're gonna start moving. I just go over my head like 3, 4, 5
So you're
different
more
ways
of a
I'm fight.
mental boxer.
Huh?
You're more of a mental boxer because you
Yeah.
know boxing is
Yeah.
physical and mental.
Yeah.
Some people they have more strength when it comes to physical, but some
Yeah.
people have. Okay.
Yeah, mental. I want to be 3 steps ahead. I want anything to ever, surprise me in a fight. I want to know what I'm gonna do. Like, all right, this round is just like what I thought. He came out. He's trying to throw big overhand rights. I already know. I'm gonna catch, boom, come up under and stuff like in the fight. Or oh shoot. The only thing I want to surprise him, like, oh shoot, he don't like when he got touched. All right, let me keep touching him. Let me touch him. He don't like body shots. Oh, he don't like when I load up and hit him with a hard shot. That's a good surprise, but I don't want to go in the ring with no surprise. I want to know everything.
Wow.
Like, and already, what's my plan? I have A, B, C, D for however, if he reacts like this, if he tries to pressure me, all right, I've already, in my head and in my house, I went over what I'm gonna do. So I want to know what I'm gonna do each step of the way.
Wow. Say you don't do boxing, right? For living, what will you do? Like, what other job?
What, right now? Or if I never box?
If you never box, say you never made it to this level, like, of being a boxer, like.
That's hard. I don't know. Shoot, I would have probably been around something with sports because, like I said, that's all I know my whole life. And if I would have finished getting my degree, it's gonna be in kinesiology and stuff like that. But I feel like I would have been around sports, probably maybe try to be a coach or
Boxing
play
coach
football,
or football coach?
maybe boxing. Maybe I would have found my way to boxing, and maybe it would have been inevitable. But it could have been MMA coach or something like that because I was a wrestler, a football, track guy. I feel like it was inevitable for me to just be around sports because I did it my whole life.
Wow.
But I did want to be like a astronomer and stuff like that. So maybe I would have pursued that if I had never played sports or something.
Wow. So what do you do outside boxing for fun? Like,
I box. Like I do that. And,
shopping, traveling?
only thing else I really do now is I hang out with my little buddies,
Family?
my kids. Like,
Okay.
now, shoot, I'm a father. It helps slow me down a lot where I'll just be around my kids, man. It's family. And then when I come down here in Oklahoma, I'm around family, But now I get to like hang out and stuff when I'm in Oklahoma, which is cool. So I'm around family. I go hang out. Like last night, we had my grandmother, and my cousin's birthday party. Leos, and I don't know, Leos always think they're the best, they're the coolest. But we hung out with them and stuff. We went and ate dinner, hung out and stuff like that. Watched some old family videos and stuff and got to kick it. But other than that, when I'm in Vegas, I'm a full-time father and fighter and promoter. So that's basically my life. I don't play video games. I watch movies. I watch movies and shows. That's I guess how I kick back and relax. I watch a show or a movie.
So how do you handle being a promoter? And because you're still actively boxing, right?
Yeah.
And being a promoter, how do you?
Dude,
Because that's a lot.
I'm learning on the job, dude. I don't know
But
how
that's the best thing to do, though, because all these. Because I watched somebody's. I think Shaq. Shaq, right? The basketball player.
Shaq, yeah.
Yeah. It's like he says something about before you finally quit sport actively, you have to be gradually transitioning yourself into what you're gonna be doing after. Because most people, like some people, once they're done, especially boxing, it's hard.
Yeah.
You stay at home all day, something going on in your head.
Yeah.
You know, you actually on the right path, man.
Thank you.
You actually on the right path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love it, man. Like I got into it. I love it. I still love wrestling. I love wrestling, but I love boxing and stuff. And so it's cool because initially me and my wife, we did it to help promote me so I could get back to fighting, so I could get, because I'm still so close to getting the big fights and stuff where 2, 3 more wins. Like before, it was 1, 2 wins. I'm right back at the at the doorstep of title contention and stuff like that. So that was the reason why I did it. But then when I seen I'm helping so many other guys out, and then boxing starting to get big around Oklahoma again and stuff, and then just being around guys and giving them advice and stuff. I'm helping change some dudes' lives and
for
stuff.
them to meet you, to even talk to you.
So so it changed and feels good now that I'm older. Where before, when you're young, you're a little selfish. Like you just care about you, yourself, and I, man. So, but now it feels good. Making a change, making a difference, and just knowing, shoot, I'm making a mark. So, like so that's why it helped me a lot. Where transition just from doing that originally, where I was doing it for myself. Now I'm like, all right, cool. I wouldn't mind transitioning being a coach and everything because I tried to coach and stuff a little bit earlier, and it was still when I was younger, and I was mean and didn't have the patience to deal with people. And so I'm like, bro, hey, man, you ain't doing it right. I told you to do it like this. And so, but now
But here's the thing, though. But you've done boxing before. If you say something harder or harsh. You know how some people never do boxing, but they tell you to do something crazy that you can't. It's not possible. Because for me, I like somebody who have done it before to train me. Because whatever I'm saying or he's telling me, it's no bullshitting. It's been there. It's not like, oh, I never do boxing. I'm telling you, use your jab, use these. So for any person or like an amateur boxer that you telling, if they want to go somewhere, they should really take your advice serious because you've done it before.
And I think what helps me why I'm going to be a great coach now is the last few years of my life where even one of my last coaches, and it started clicking with me and him, is he was able to relay the message better. Like, because I always had old school coaches like Floyd Mayweather Sr. and them and Yoel Judah and them, and then all these people, like, they're more old school where they relate the message one way, where I had a younger coach and
they don't have to explain it, just go do it, go figure it out.
But even figuring out, like, sometimes you don't know, like, well, what do you mean when you say in this term? And so, but that, and then now I have kids, so now I had to be patient.
To explain.
Because I got kids and stuff now, so now I know how to relay messages to fighters now who aren't on that level, and I know how to be patient with them, and I can explain stuff better, and I can deal with it and not just get mad by, hey man, hey, you don't want to fight, you ain't even trying. But now, like, dealing with kids and understanding how to relay the message different ways. If you don't get the point across, if I tell you, hey, you gotta punch and do it this way, then I'm like, all right, well, try thinking about just punching with your hip. Just work on twisting your hip and see if that's gonna fire the shot off better for it. Like, it is different ways, different people, they interpret things different. Just like people interpret stuff different. You can see something. All three of us can watch a fight, and we all think something else. One person like, oh, it's a draw. I thought he won. Well, I thought he won.
So like everything is subjective. They say, 6, the figure 6? Some people could see it as 9.
Oh, yeah. Even like when you're playing like drawing cards, or not like the one card, but like say what's like, and the way a Uno card is, but if you don't see that says the 9 or 6, just pointing like, oh, it's a 6, oh, it's a 9, but so sometimes you gotta be able to relay the message different for different people, and I think that my last couple of years of life, I matured a lot, and it's gonna help me with coaching and stuff. And that's one thing, like, I will harp on with the city is I feel like the coaching can get a lot better, or not the city, but the whole state. We got some good people and people who love the sport, but I honestly, my thing, if I have to say anything bad about Oklahoma boxing, because right now we're going up, you know, everything's going up, but I feel like it's not a lot of teachers. It's a lot of coaches and trainers, and people just want to do mitts and stuff. No one's like explaining stuff and teaching kids. And then I go to gyms, and it's about, you gotta show you got heart, show you're tough, show you got balls. Like, why does this kid gotta show he got balls? He don't even know how to throw a 1-2 properly. Like, get his butt out the ring. Let's teach him how to step right, step properly. First, where me, when I have my gym, kids are probably gonna hate it. It's gonna be like Mr. Miyagi with him. You gonna have to wax on, wax off for. It's gonna be about a week, and then why am I just just like him? Like, oh, you blocking. You learn like y'all ain't gonna be able to just toss on gloves and go out there and start sparring, going to hit the bag. Am I like no?
Like step by step.
It's gonna be a lot of fundamentals.
Footwork.
Yes. It's from the feet up. You gotta have good. You gotta move. You gotta move correctly, because I see guys tripping on their feet, throwing 1,000 punches, feet barely moving. Everything gotta be in sync. Everything gotta be in tune. And so where me, that's the only thing is like, not a lot of people wanna take time and fully explain. I know people, the thing about Oklahoma too, with that, because it's not like Vegas where you have time to work on. Out here, people have jobs and stuff. Like, most people, they gotta get money to live.
Most
like,
pro fighter, I'm not, they got jobs that I know in Oklahoma, and I'm like, how are you gonna get to that?
Yeah, it's hard. It's dang near impossible.
Tough.
Yeah, and that goes for the coaches as well, man. Like, to be a great coach, you know, you gotta be 24/7, just like a great fighter, 24/7. That's why one thing I can say about Freddie Roach, that dude's work ethic is phenomenal. Like, the Wild Card Gym open at 7 a.m. We go there. Someday I go there early. Someday I go there late. He's there no matter what time it is. He's there all day.
Wow.
He loves it. He's there coaching, giving knowledge, hanging out the whole day. But that's the only thing with Oklahoma, is because there's not a lot of money and a lot of people haven't made it. So, like, you know, you can't take time. You'll have time to be like, hey, we're gonna explain everything the proper way. It's like, hey man, I got work in an hour. We're about to go ahead and put these gloves on. We're gonna teach you this steps, and boom, boom, boom. And so you gotta, it's a crash course, really.
Do you
in Oklahoma.
think we can see, like, another champ at your level, or at Alan Green's level, Casson's level?
Yeah,
with the way
for sure, especially with the up and coming guys. Like, I'll say one person who does a great job is Nicky and Rival's boxing gym. They got like 6 ranked guys. Like, all the other gyms have some really good fighters, but I just know, because I talk to me and my wife, we talk to her a lot because she helps us with our shows and stuff. They do the ring and stuff, and then I always like just check in on the dudes and stuff when they're setting up the ring. Like, hey, so what's up? What they been doing? Like, that's crazy. That's amazing. This kid's ranked. That kid's ranked. And so for a while, I just was like, you know, listening to what they done and stuff like that. But then afterwards, after a while, I was like, let me check them out and see how the kids actually fight. Because I'm like, man, a lot of kids fight amateurs, but they're not that good. They just throwing punches and stuff and can win a fight. But I'm checking them out, and they're actually good. But a lot of gyms got some kids who can fight now. So the only thing would be now is, it has to be upon like the guys like me, the guys like Carson and our age bracket and our generation, to help them out and guide them, because there's a lot of guys who come out good as amateurs and stuff, but they're just led down the wrong path. Like, hey, let's go get this money. Your 4th fight, let's go try and get this money on ESPN. It might be something simple as like $6,000. Like, you kind of messed up your career, took this fight too early. You lost to a dude over $6,000, which, you know, it's not a lot of money and stuff like that, rather than, hey, let's build up, let's do this, let's do that, and then we're gonna take the right fights. The money's gonna come. Once you get 10-0, everybody's gonna want you.
Want.
You already got the skills. We just gotta get your name out there a little more and stuff. And then the guys like me, Carson, and other people who already have contacts. We got like Alex Salcedo and them like have contacts to Top Rank, to PBC, and all these other places and stuff like that. Where Carson he knows 800 good and stuff like that. Where when we have fighters like that and we know they're reliable and they're not going to just quit and stuff, then we'll reach out and put our name on the line. Reach out to like someone like, hey, I got a fighter right here. Can you look at him and see you know, if you guys can promote him, like, and see stuff like that, you know. But yeah, we definitely can put some fighters together and stuff like that. And Oklahoma can have champion and get guys on that level. But where it's already, you're getting more and more gyms every year. I feel like, or every other year, a new gym is opening up and something like that. So it's good. We got more gyms, more kids are starting to fight. And with more kids, that's just more. That's more of a numbers game. Shoot, if you got just 1,000 kids fighting, that's cool. You might get somebody out of 1,000. But if you got 10,000, now the chances improve. And now you got more guys coming back like before. Like you said, guys, they get out of boxing like, oh, shoot, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to just go grab a job. I got to do something. But now you got guys who, when they're at the end of their career and finishing up, like me, Maurice, Carson, Nikki, they're throwing shows and they're giving back. I feel like my generation is changing a lot because everyone, or not everyone, a lot of guys from my generation and girls, Nikki, they're giving back to the game in Oklahoma. Like, I feel like there hasn't been one generation like mine where it's this many people that came up together and we're still in the game and we're giving back to the next generation. So if we just keep the cycle going like this and keep putting it into them and guide them the right way and not trying to just screw them over to get our little 10% or 30%, whatever we got them under contract for, try and get this little quick dollar. No, they can make it, but it's on our generation to help them out and for them to actually want to be good. And I think we can do it.
Talking about advice for that, you know, if do you have any, you know, say you have a boxer from Oklahoma City, you know?
Yeah.
Do you have any, you know, advice for any upcoming fighter in the city or in Oklahoma in general?
Really, I don't say fighters everywhere, but you know, this is where I'm from, so fighters in Oklahoma and stuff. I would say take it serious. Just like how you have a girl, you want to keep her happy?
Yeah.
Keep your boxing career happy. What does boxing demand out of you? It demands you to be serious about it. It demands you to stay in shape and take your craft serious. And so you gotta treat it like that. Treat it like it's your dream girl. Boxing, because it's your dream life. It could change you. Like I never had a passport before I started boxing. Guess what? Boxing got me a passport. I've been out of the country a bunch of times. And so, so I would say be serious, stay in shape, make sure you get your runs in. Technique, every day. You should have a goal to get better every day. And sometimes it's not about always pushing yourself, sprinting, running 100 miles, this and that. Sometimes, hey, have fun, just learn. Like, you know what? I'm gonna work on my jab today. I'm gonna work on just keeping my hands up the whole time. I'm gonna do a couple rounds, just walking around with my hands up. Like, you don't have to stress yourself out and push yourself, burn yourself out every day. You don't gotta prove that you got hearts or you got guts or you're tough. Some days, just get better. Any way of getting better is any type of way. And then I would say sometimes the little things help, where little things might be, you know, don't go pig out eating fried food, this and that. You know, if you got a competition, sometimes enjoy yourself. You ain't got nothing come up. Just get better by doing a little technique, this and doing that, film study. But if you know you got a fight coming up, don't make life hard on yourself. Don't eat the wrong things. Don't be out partying all the time. Cut back, respect the game and the game is gonna respect you. That's what I can say.
Before I let you go, do you have any, message for, your fans out there that they were gonna be coming to the show?
Hey, just know, me, I'm gonna put on a show, man. And then, as always, my shows they always popping. everybody gonna be there. So hey, make sure you ain't the one who's not there. So everybody come on. We got all the top fighters who's coming up, and then you got me still fighting on there. It's gonna be a party. So come out, shoot. If you drink, get a beer. If you eat, get some tacos, get some candy, get everything you want, and have fun. Enjoy your night. Hey, and it's gonna be an off night because OSU play early, and then OU ain't playing on Saturday. So yeah, everybody come out.
Man, I just want to thank you, for your time today. It's been a pleasure, and hopefully we get to see you more.
Oh, yeah, that's the goal, man. I'm coming back more. Hey, I'm coming home, man. I'm coming home.
Thank you so much, and have a blessed week.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me. And what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan. Your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability.